Well, welcome back. Scrooge here.
Thought I'd take you on a little shakedown hike. Come on along.
Smart decision was made today, at least so far. See how many other stupid predicaments we can get in here in a minute. Once again, thanks for hiking with Scrooge today. Let's get going. It's going to be a great day to be alive. Well, time's getting closer. We got less than 2 weeks before we actually our start. I'm out walking today and just wanted to share just a couple of things. It's the final bits of planning are getting done. That's a good thing. Planning on leaving here 2 weeks from today, and just still walking now with a pack on. I thought in the next couple of videos I'd give some hiking tips, but the first and foremost one for folks that might be a little apprehensive about taking on a big adventure is don't cave into your fears. Yeah, it's scary to hike a long way in a foreign land. You're not by yourself though. There's a big family out there just waiting to meet you. So keep that in mind. Don't listen to all the people around you that say, oh, you're not in shape, or you're too fat, or you're too old, or you're too this or that. Most of them are just kind of jealous in their own little way. So do what you're gonna do. Anyway, we're out walking today with a pack on. That'd be my second tip. Once your legs get good and kind of tired of walking by themselves, go with your pack. I got about a 22 pound pack on, a little bit more than my base weight, carrying 2 liters of water. Gonna walk 8 miles up and down this back road here on the coast, mostly on dirt. But that's necessary. It kind of breaks in the hips and lets the feet kind of know what a little extra weight feels like. Carrying 2.5 bowling balls extra of weight, and necessary, so you just don't flop off the couch and decide, oh, I'm gonna go hike. And while the temperature down in San Diego and Campo right now has a high of about 68, that always seems to change the day I get on trail, and it always gets like 10 or 20 degrees hotter, so we'll see. But it's a beautiful day here. It's been raining all week, so it's kind of good to get out in the sun and walk. I've been out in the rain a lot this week, but getting there. Got all the travel plans made. I'll share them once we embark, but I'll go down here a little ways and show you what the Coquille River is like. Well, welcome to the small village of Prosper, Oregon. The Coquille River is over here, named after the Coquille Indians, which helped inhabit this area, still live here. The pavement's going to end up here, but I was going to mention a couple other little things. We look around here. A lot of water out today because it's been raining. I mentioned that, but it's okay to go slow. You don't have to practice walking fast. It's good to practice walking uphill and downhill. But going a long hike, once you got to be at work in 2 weeks, practice being the turtle, not the hare. You know, sometimes you want to keep up with the younger crowd and they look more fit and more energetic, but that'll all fade. In about 15 miles, everybody starts hurting equally, and the tortoise kind of wins this race. Should you take a missed turn one of the things that turn this around, I encourage you to take is some sort of satellite communication device in case you're in an area that your phone won't work. And I carry a Garmin Mini 2 made by InReach, I think. Anyway, got it, been traveling with it for a while, have had no issues. Still got to make sure it really doesn't freeze at night. The battery doesn't last as long that way, but you can set it up on your laptop and take it with you. It weighs not very much, and it allows you to send out an email from anywhere. Gives you the current weather report in as much detail as you want to pay for. It comes with a subscription. They have different benefits for each level of subscription. I think the one I have is $25 a month when I go travel, and that allows me kind of unlimited emails, or it seems like it, because I never email that much. And if something should happen, they have their own emergency network. They don't get into the 911 network, but they have their own SOS network. So you push your SOS button and you can look up on Google the people who explain what happens when you press that. And they will be there if they don't hear from you again. If you're laying in a ditch with a broken ankle or a rattlesnake bite or something, you push that and you can't get back to them, help will arrive, usually within hours, definitely within a day. But they will try and get back to you and contact your emergency people for you that you left with them. The other nice thing they have is a insurance policy that costs, I think, about $25 a year. Just a one-time fee that covers you from things like a helicopter ride out. You know, probably helps pay the ambulance bill. And it seems like that's a very cheap insurance policy, considering a couple of days in the hospital plus a helicopter ride can probably run you at $70,000 to $100,000. So if this is going to pay for all of it, or a good most of it, that'd be good. Anyway, we're just about through with Prosper, now ready to get to the rolling part of this. But you know, an InReach Mini 2 run you probably fairly cheap now, $300, $250, $300, new out of the box. It used to be like $400, but what does it price for your loved ones to know where you're at night? You just want to go to bed, but you can send all 20 of them the same message with a push of a button and go to bed. So that works. And you can also, one feature that's really nice on their website, you can enable tracking, and this will send a ping up to some satellite every 20 or so minutes and record you on some iCloud map that when they log on to the site with your name and password that Garmin gives you, they can actually track where you are and see if you're not moving. Do they need to call out other people? Are you not where you said you're going to be? Or are you just plodding along? And it's pretty accurate. I turn mine off at night and back on in the morning when I'm camping, and leave it on while I'm hiking, because of all the times I fell. You know, there's not a big sign up here that says route ahead, gonna trip you, you know, get ready to fall. You know, one minute you're up, and then you start looking around being careless, and the next minute you hit your chin. And one of these times it's gonna go downhill a little more, you know. But so far, just got no more than embarrassed or skinned up knees or something like that. But it's kind of handy to have, sending messages receiving messages from people is kind of nice. And you can do a lot of the communication on your phone because your phone talks to the InReach Mini on a couple of websites made by Garmin. And it's really kind of handy, kind of makes you feel like you're not totally alone out there. But, well, we're about through Prosper and about a mile in now, so got a few more miles to the highway. We'll come back and turn around, and tomorrow going on a little longer hike over the Coos Bay Bridge and hiking on part of the Circle of Bay course, going backwards. And the last couple of 3 or 4 miles, my buddy Frank, who I've known for years, is coming back with me, keep me honest and make sure I finish up. Going about 14 tomorrow, and next weekend we'll do the whole Circle of the Bay course, all 30K. And then, like I say, the following weekend I'm heading down towards Campo and head out from there up to Hauser Canyon, and then spend the night, or if I don't make it that far, there's a site at mile 11 and a half or so, and eventually get to Lake Merino on Wednesday. Probably spend the night in the campground there. Anyway, happy hiking. Hope you're having a good day. The wind has quit, so it's nice and calm here. All right, great day to be alive out here today. Just me, and haven't seen too many other critters. I hear some geese and some dogs in the distance, but it's all good. Anyway, I'll talk to you soon. Well, it's still quite lovely out today. We're in late afternoon out here, and everything's warmed up, everything's good. And part of the reasoning for walking a lot, get your body ready, but check out your feet. And if you go out and walk 5 miles and you can do that okay and your shoes fit and everything's good, you need to maybe try that with a pack on a little place that's up and down. Make sure your shoes are long enough. My trail runners that I wear are full size bigger than my running shoes. I have Hoka Speed Goats, either 4 or 5 version, whatever I can get my hands on. They fit me very good. It took me about 6 months to finally dial the size in for them, because I had to keep going up, and then I had to go wider, because what hiking will do if you carry a pack long enough is it will widen your feet out so you're like a duck. Anyway, you gotta learn to take care of your feet, keep your feet clean. Today's not too big of a deal. Get over on this side for a minute. But when you're out hiking, you get the opportunity at a stream. Some people just fill up and go, but it's really nice if you can stop and soak your feet for a little while. If your feet aren't happy, you're not going to be happy. And that's basically all you need to know about feet. Stop and fix them. Cover up anything that hurts a little bit with a piece of Leuko tape, and that'll work. There's other ways to patch up really bad feet, but that'll work pretty good. Nice out today. Calm day here. A little windy on the beach, but out here in the coastal foothills, it's really kind of nice. We'll go down the road a little more. One of the things you deal with when you get older is trying to keep some goals in your head. As young people, we grow up and are pressured sometimes by our parents to be part of the team, or be an Eagle Scout, or do the best and be the best musician you can be the best person you can be. We go to college, at least my generation did, and you know, bachelor's degree, master's degree, PhD. Well, at some point in time, you run out of money and realize I'm going to just go live my life now. Live in town and have a successful career. And, you know, at some point in time, and I probably shouldn't say this for all the young people out there, you realize that nobody cares where you finish. They want to hear the stories about your journey. And so, just like this trail, and the one we're about to embark on, it's the journey that's important. You know, if, like a lot of people, you get 30 miles from Canada and then have to quit or are forced out, or you snap your ankle slipping on a rock in a stream and you're done for that year, well, think of what you did do, not what you didn't do. You know, some people, it's like, oh, I didn't finish, so the whole thing's a waste of time and a waste of money. Well, no, it's just all experience. You know, I probably will post at some point in time some life lessons that I got from a yoga teacher a couple of years ago that, you know, basically says that life is full of rules, and until you master one, you keep repeating it every time you fail, and then at the very end, you forget all of this. And you do. You make the same mistakes in life. But the journey is interesting. Each one's a little bit different, and this upcoming journey, it's going to be interesting. It'll bring back memories because I grew up in Southern California and Ontario and learned to backpack in the San Jacinto and San Gorgonio and Angeles National Forest and San Gabriel Mountains. So seeing some of those places 50 years later will be good. Remind me why I probably don't live down there, not to take away from the people that do. There's a lot of good features down in LA. If you like sun and don't like a lot of rain, they've cleaned the area up quite a bit. It used to be very smoggy. Now it's a big city, but you know, it has everything you need within 5 minutes. And as anybody in the country says, well, if you go to the store and they don't have what you need, then you probably didn't need it that bad. So, you know, we'll get by on what we have and, you know, make some new friends and give help when it's needed and accept help when it's offered, and, you know, embrace the journey and try and stay positive and have a good time. Oh, we just moseying along still. Two things that are probably important to do before your hike. You may not get a chance to deal with too much during your hike, and one is eating well and fueling your body full of good nutritious food, and the second is getting enough sleep between work. A lot of you work, I know, and in the last 2 weeks I've been helping a buddy of mine landscape and crawling all up and down hills and planting stuff and stretching, and you know, to come home at the end of the day and still have to go walking and prepare for a trip, you know, kind of reminds me of the days where you're working 8 and 10 hours a day and then, oh, well, let's go exercise. Well, I did that all day. But, you know, you have to get enough rest, eat enough food, drink enough water, and then get on trail and try and keep doing that. Otherwise, problems will occur, especially if you don't drink enough water. Well, we're going by some farmland up here and about ready to go visit a couple of houses with some of my hopefully friendly dogs today. But this is just rolling at sea level. One of the things, you know, the PCT kind of gets you prepared for from traveling south to north is, you know, visiting the altitude. Within a couple of days, you go from, you know, basically sea level at San Diego to 6,000 feet. And then rolling up and down, and not too long after passing the wonderful little town of Idlewild, then all of a sudden you're up in the high hinter country, 9,000 feet, and your lungs are not ready for that. So have to kind of listen to your body, especially if it's hot out or cold. You dehydrate quickly at that elevation. Don't push big miles, probably be up in the snow. And I guess the question in my head is, how many times do you go to Idlewild? Because people get off trail and spend one lovely day part of a day at Paradise Valley Cafe, which you plan on going to, and then going to Idlewild and have pizza and drink beer and either stay in a place in town or in the campground, and then the next day start up the trail and it's all good. You camp about 8,000 feet, and then the next day, you know, everything can kind of go to crap pretty quick. So if it does, then there's a lot of bailout points to go back to Idlewild and then figure out another way. And so some people go to Idlewild 2 or 3 times if they don't want to deal with the slopes. That's one of the 2 peaks over 9,000 feet. It's quite a bit higher than that. We'll get into all that later. But that Mount Baden-Powell. Anyway, yeah, so one of the little things you can't really prepare for unless you live at altitude or even get up there for a weekend. The highest I can probably get from here is maybe 6,000-7,000 feet, and I'd have to go to Crater Lake, which is kind of a journey from here. It's due east of where I live, but it's a long ride, plus it's a little snowy up there right now, and you know, we'll just have to adapt and listen to the body, and if it's cranky, slow down, drink water, a little ibuprofen, might have to wait, and that goes far. But you don't want to push it if you stop getting hungry and you stop getting thirsty and you're sick to your stomach, or you start throwing up. All signs that your body's not dealing with the altitude too well. Sometimes you can be a little short of breath at night. You're laying on your side or your back. Your body just has to build some more red blood cells, and that takes, for some people, days and other people weeks. But can't train for elevation before this hike, but we can always slow down going uphill and stop and look at the flowers and the rocks and all the little critters therein, instead of just hurry and complain about how hot it is. So we're just gonna make do and see what happens. Well, welcome to farm country out in Western Oregon. People out working still today. I'm getting close to my turnaround spot, and just wanted to mention that probably the hardest thing for hiking long distance you'll encounter isn't the blisters and the sore knees and shoulders and getting stuck by various plants or getting sick of backpacking food. It's just keeping your head in the game day after day after day and try and stay positive, because there are moments when kind of everything goes to hell. And I have found that, one, you have to recognize that, and 2, allow yourself a little time to be mad or sad or grumpy or whatever, but don't dwell on it. I've always tried to invoke the 10-minute rule. When shitty things happen, at least 10 minutes at a time, you know, get pissed off about it, get mad, patch yourself up from falling, whatever. And it's a new day after that. And go out and do what you need to do. If you need to take a longer break, take a longer break, and look up and see the beauty around you and the flowers at your feet, and just know that, you know, it's going to be okay. Things are better. Sometimes, you know, the news you get from home on trail isn't good, and you worry, and, you know, do the best you can to hike your own hike and put bad thoughts out of your head and be positive all day long, which is very hard when everything hurts and you're going uphill and you've slipped or fallen 3 or 4 times during the day and you're frustrated and other people don't seem to be having as bad a day as you, but hopefully they'll help you, and then tomorrow you can help them because they might be having a bad day too. Anyway, I'm gonna go out here and enjoy the sunset tonight and hike back. I got my headlamp on so I can see where I'm going on the way back, but it doesn't get dark till 6:30, so I'll be all right. Anyway, happy trails. Well, I've turned around now, and this is one of the reasons I'm going back at night, because I have a lot of folks talking at me. But get back in one piece today and go out and do it again tomorrow and work and do it next weekend and then work and then head south. So may talk to you before we go, but if not, have a good week and be safe. I'll see you soon.